Everyone's excited to find out what their name is. So in full disclosure, 2 of these guys have already been named. We had 2 very generous donations come in. This is Charlotte, and she was actually named by a good friend, Amy Rubens, who has a granddaughter that's named Charlotte, and she just has a lot of energy, and she's very sweet, and we thought that was perfect. So Amy, thank you so much. And then Jake, who is the only male in the group, he was named by Hillary and Lindsay, who are also good friends, and their family made a super generous donation. And Jake is actually named after Lindsay's dad, so we're honored by that. And those donations are super important because we just had Dr. Rogers and Logan from Kindred Spirits Farm Sanctuary come out, and basically they saw everyone, not just this crew, but they saw all of the 50 animals that we have here. They got blood work, stool samples, and just a checkup. And even though they're really generous and give us a discount, all of that costs money, and you guys make that possible. And the good news is that so far everyone here is really, really healthy and doing good. And Charlotte even had her hooves clean. Let's see, who wants to go first? How about maybe we'll do number 3, this really cute little girl over here, and we're gonna find out what your name is from one of our super generous donors. Your name is Hazel, and you're named by Beth Hewitt, and I think that's a perfect name. So no more number 3, you are Hazel. She looks like a hazel, and she's beautiful. Thank you so much, Beth. It's nerdy, but find out which house Hazel belongs to. And Hazel is Slytherin. So and maybe just since we have Charlotte here, I'm gonna put Slytherin back in. And you've already been named Charlotte, but I'm not looking. And Charlotte is Hufflepuff, which I think totally makes sense.
Cute.
So, perfect. And we're gonna name number 5 here, the tan one.
Oh, from our friend Rachel, who lives in Hawaii, and she named her Aunt Lucy. So this is Lucy.
Thank you, Rachel. We miss you. We hope everyone's doing well on Maui, and we can't wait to visit again. But this, number 5, no more, is Aunt Lucy. And I guess we need to find out which house Aunt Lucy's in.
Hufflepuff.
Aunt Lucy's Hufflepuff.
So next up is the lady next to Aunt Lucy, number 1. No peeking. And this is Allie, A-L-Y, named by Shanna. Shanna's 8-year-old daughter got some money together to donate towards our new sheep, and this is Allie.
Allie.
Thank you, Shanna, and thank you to your daughter.
She's beautiful. We need to find out what house she's in.
Oh, she's in Ravenclaw.
Our first Ravenclaw. All right, everyone keeps moving around, so we'll find out. Number 2, your name is Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Who is named by Marsha Miller.
Oh.
And I think that's a perfect name. So this is Stephanie. And Stephanie, while you're eating, we'll figure out what house you're in. And Stephanie is Slytherin.
Ooh.
I'm Slytherin in this crew.
Nice. So next up, we've got this lady over here. Gotta shuffle them up. Margaret.
Oh,
Named by our
Margaret.
friend Teresa, who lives in Minnesota. Teresa, thank you so much. We love you and we miss you.
Thank you, Teresa.
This is Margaret.
That's Margaret, and let's find out what house Margaret's in.
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. So these sheep are called Katahdin sheep. They're a little different than normal sheep in that they lose their wool naturally. It clumps off. And so they're not really used for wool. Sadly, what they're used for is meat. And that's why you'll see more of them in Florida, because they can kind of handle the heat because their coats naturally come off. However, this sweet girl, when she arrived, she still had a very thick coat of wool on that hadn't come off yet naturally. and it's summer here and it's really hot during the day, so I felt really bad for her. So we YouTubed some videos of how to shear a sheep, and we got her coat off, and it was traumatic for everyone, but she did great. And I thought we would do this sort of very scary thing for them, and that she would run away and probably be in the corner of the field, you know, as we gained back her trust again. But almost instantly, she walked out and then walked back and it immediately forgave us. I think she felt so much better and knew we were trying to help her. So I do have a special connection with this girl because we had a traumatic first day here, but she's doing great and she feels much better without that wool on. And so we're going to find out what her name is. And her name is Madison, named by our friend Tanya, and who also runs a sanctuary, and she's amazing. But I think Madison is a perfect name for her, so thank you so much, Tanya. And we are going to find out which house Madison is in. And Madison is Ravenclaw. And that's just something to think about too. Even though this crew would have been mainly used for meat, sheep wool in general just isn't a good product to use in our clothing. Anytime someone is used as a product, they're generally taken advantage of. And just as an example, most sheep shearers that shear the sheep for their wool are paid by the pound. So it really just, you know, the faster they can go, the more money they can make. And as you can imagine, when that happens, sheep get cut. It's very traumatic. So in addition to not eating animal products, we'd also encourage you not to wear them as well.
Next one, we don't want to disturb her while she's resting, but she's right here. So I'll draw her name. Wanda.
Wanda,
named by our friend Amber. Yeah, Amber is our friend in Minnesota who helps run Spring Farm Sanctuary, where we first learned about how to this whole sanctuary world. We volunteered there for a couple years before moving to Florida. So we really love the team at Spring Farm. So Amber, thank you so much for this really sweet name for her, Wanda.
That's a perfect name. All right, let's find out what house Wanda's in.
Okay, Wanda's in Gryffindor. Oh, we're on our last name. The sweet little one back here who's enjoying her salt lick. We have Eloise, named by our friend Kara in Minnesota, who's like one of our closest friends and like one of our biggest supporters. So Kara, we love you. This is Eloise.
Eloise is perfect.
Yeah.
She's our smallest girl, and she's 72 pounds, which we know because we had to weigh her to figure out her dose for her dewormer. And one of the ways we did that, because she's so tiny, is I weighed myself on the scale, and then I held Eloise on the scale, and we just subtracted and figured out that she's just 72 pounds. But Dr. Charlotte saw her and thought she's actually in really good health. She's just on the smaller end, but she's doing good, and we love her. So this is Eloise.
And then can't forget to figure out what house she's in. Gryffindor.
And the only person we haven't figured out which house they're in is Jake. So maybe Emma will have you figure out what house Jake is in.
Gryffindor.
Also Gryffindor. Congrats, Jake. So everyone has their name and their house, which we're super excited about. Eloise, so nice to meet you. And Wanda, so nice to meet you as well. We're still learning. But just like with our birds, when we got, 18 of them from Fort Myers, we're like, we have no idea how we're ever going to learn their names, but now we know exactly who everybody is, mostly because of their personality. And that's just something that we didn't know until we spent time with these farm animals every day. It's just like our cats and dogs. They all are full of personality, and they're all individuals. And thank you guys so much for helping us give them a forever home, making sure that they have food and medicine and structures to sleep in and grass to eat, and they're amazing ambassadors for their brothers and sisters that aren't as lucky. One of the things that Dr. Charlotte told us when she was seeing everybody about Charlotte, which is funny, is that Charlotte is a mini donkey and she could live to be 30 35 years old. And I was just thinking about that Charlotte and I might be together when I'm in my 70s. So that's a pretty cool thing to think about. And again, we couldn't do this without all of your help and support. And it means so much to us. So even though these are strange times and not everyone can visit, know that at least for Emma and I, it feels like you guys are here with us. And it means so much to be on this journey with you. So thank you for making this possible. And we hope to introduce you to these lovely ladies and Jake very soon. Thank you guys again. Everyone's back to eating and napping, which is their job here. And but they all have names, and we're super excited about that.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We appreciate it.